So I've had a bit of stick in the past due to the people that I decide to read sometimes, and I am a people studier. I like to analyze, diving into characters. The weirder, the most interesting and far away from what I know and practice, the better sometimes, because I think that gives me more to work with and play with and analyze from an outsider's point of view. I think sometimes when you're reading people who are too similar to yourself, you're a bit biased. Either way, I decided to ask you guys who you thought I should read, because I wanted to give you the free reign then. Okay, then who do you want me to read? And actually, the majority of people that you guys wanted me to read, I usually do read anyway. Reoccurring character on this channel that I like to read is the good old Trisha Paytas. I think her being pregnant right now is the perfect opportunity to read, because there's so much of her life that is about to change. Before I do start, I will say this is for entertainment. This is just a bunch of fun. If Trisha is watching this video, please contact me and I would gladly do a one-to-one with you. That would be an ultimate dream come true. I've been watching you since the beach house days. Let's dive into good old Mrs. Paytas. Oh, yeah, she is a Mrs. now. I was about to say, sorry, not yet, but the lady got married. She's happy. In my last reading about Trisha, I said that there would be drama, which, I mean, you don't need to be a tarot reader to predict that. During the wedding, I said that I think ultimately this will bring her to a very beautiful, emotionally fulfilling place. And I think Trisha is actually in a really good space right now, if I'm going to be honest with you. Slow but sure changes. The thing is with Trisha, she's never made like an overnight change. I think she's one of those people that need to kind of see the same lesson again and again before they move forward productively. But that's my own perspective. Let's have a little look at what the cards want to say. Enjoy, and if you have any suggestions of who else you think I should read, leave it in the comment section below, and subscribe to this channel to be notified every time I make a brand new video similar to this one. You guys like it when I show what cards I pulled, so I've put a bit of the table in the shot. We're starting out with the Eight of Swords. Moving on to the Three of Pentacles. The Six of Coins and the Ace of Wands. I think what I'm picking up on is actually something to do with home improvements. I'm really seeing here this is something artistic and creative and around the home, because I'm seeing like structure, building, improving as a team. Like, I don't know whether she's hiring some people this month to do some renovations in the house, which is a weird thing to say maybe when you're expecting. I think that's something that she's going to be putting focus into this month. It will cost a bit of money. I don't think a lot of the stuff she's going to be wanting to do on her own. However, the King of Wands is someone stepping in to do some of the creative aspects themselves, and I really do believe this is Moses. He is a King of Wands. I think this is representing his creative abilities, his more physical ability to take part in matters that are creating something pretty. Like, I think he's gonna, even Trisha will kind of get her dip her toe a little bit in something quite creative this month. It might cost a bit of money. She'll probably include it into her content. You know what Trisha's like. She sells seashells on the seashore. A lot of stuff that goes on in her life, and we're probably going to see that. And I think this is something associated to where she doesn't feel has enough like space. Like, she might be making her creative space bigger, or a small part of her house bigger, or somewhere where she feels like she doesn't have enough of it in the house. Like, it holds her back, it holds her down. I feel like she'll recognize that and then be like, right, how can we make that not feel as suffocating and ugly? Like, those are the words I'm hearing in my head. She finds something ugly, she wants to improve it, and I think it might be quite creatively inspiring for her. She's got new ideas, both of them. They're working as a team, they're spending a lot of money, they're coming together, working out who can do what do they both want, meeting in the middle, give and take. Feels good. Perhaps it's something to do with the child, the baby, you know, We need to improve this space for the baby. Perhaps they're going to be working on the baby room. Let's have a little look to see what else I can find. Mm-hmm. 80% likely I'm picking up on a health-related reading here. Once again, every time I read Trisha, I do get a sense of self-awareness with her readings, which sounds quite funny to probably a majority of people, because Trisha gets a lot of stick for not being self-aware, not being, accountable, or like demonstrating forms of self-awareness. But I actually think that she is clever in the fact that she is self-aware of her apparent non-self-awareness. She almost I don't know, I feel like someone like her could possibly use it sometimes to her advantage, because she knows what works and what doesn't online, and she knows maybe being self-aware and authentically her best self online won't pay the bills. That's just a side note I'm picking up on because of the self-awareness that I'm feeling. But basically, I feel like there is a need to take a break or like relax and heal and step back, whether that's from social media, whether that's just relaxing and sitting down and lying down a lot and not doing much. She might like go into the shadows a little bit because there is a need to, and I think she will know what that need is. I think it's around something that she's always dealt with, toxic behaviors reoccurring, like habits coming back to the surface again. This could be around addiction, and obviously being pregnant, I think maybe that is obviously going to be more than enough for her to realize that she needs to work on that immediately. Maybe it's gonna like rear its ugly little head, and she's gonna really be assertive and take a stand away from that and get help and heal. So that feels good. That's why I'm saying there's an element of self-awareness here. The Ace of Swords also tells me that taking time to do nothing will bring her a lot of clarity, and it will feel rewarding. She'll get what she needs out of it, which is a clearer head, not feeling overtaken by some sort of addiction or obsessive behavior or controlling behavior. I think that to step into her power again, she will step back to find that. Sometimes when you're in the middle of a toxic environment or situation, it's hard to realize there is a way out, or it's hard to find out where we are able to help ourselves. But sometimes stepping away from whatever it is helps us find what it is we need to be doing. I think she's avoided a potential bad decision. Seven of Cups near a devil could also be like drugs and alcohol. It might just be enhancing the definition of this being a topic associated to drugs, alcohol. And she'll do her best to work on things. I think that's the main thing for us to remember for Trisha. As long as she's got demons. We've all got demons. She just shows hers and airs them online. I'm gonna just do some fun, for entertainment purposes only, pulls on the future of her being a mother. How does that look? Queen of Pentacles has just fallen out. Someone who is very focused on providing. So when is she supposed to be due? Isn't it around September time? So let's have a little look into September. How does that look? Choosing not to do maybe other things that Trisha might usually do. Like, she's not going to be spending a lot of money. She's not going to be doing a lot of things. She's just going to be like waiting around quite selfishly, but in a good way. I think if you're going to be selfish, it's got to be when you're pregnant. Is it selfish if you're tending to something that sure is a part of you, but it is still like an individual human being to yourself, but in a way that maybe for some reason to others, maybe there's a kind of weird misconceived misdirected communication issue here with people or someone thinking that of her. But she's always been someone who has to kind of speak up for herself, otherwise no one will. I think she, out of most other times in her life, is going to feel the most assertive and strong and determined. and all she's going to be able to do is like look forward to the future, and ultimately that's all she's going to really care about. I feel like she won't give birth until later on in September. I'll be interested to know whether that prediction was true. Trisha's going to read like the most amount of books and take in the most amount of information that she's probably ever done before. She's going to be like communicating with more people, maybe to gain more knowledge. I know that Trisha's always wanted a baby, and I've just been thinking a lot recently about like whether or not this opportunity that Trisha currently has, which is like no other opportunity she's had before, will set her in like a new direction, not only mentally but like content wise, emotionally, financially. She will definitely continue to work even though she has a child. I think she's got quite strong work ethic anyway, and I know a lot of people will find that an odd thing to say, because what is work? But whether you like it or not, Trisha earns a good bit of money for the work that she does. She does it because she's a giving person. The people in her life, I don't know her personally, but they likely know that she is someone who provides and gives all the time. Whatever she has, she often like doesn't know. I think she tends to like give people her money and her time because she doesn't know herself what to do with her money and her time, and she thinks other people probably have a better idea of, like, she might see other people as better with their money or better with their time, and therefore she thinks giving them the opportunity to step in and make use of her time and her money would be a better option than giving it to herself. Protective. I think that she's so used to things kind of going wrong, and maybe some previous impulsive, erratic, self-sabotaging behavior, that maybe she doesn't trust the future, she doesn't trust other people. I think she'll be very like selective about who she lets near her child and the child's life, and that's personal stuff. I ain't going down that route. But I do think that she will learn how to reflect on decisions a lot more. Being the person who makes decisions for this other human being teaches her how to make decisions that come with logic and aren't emotional, highly driven on like Taurus energy charge. Tauruses are very protective, and I think she will be. She will work even harder to make sure this child has abundance in terms of money and finance and house and home and like support. You know, she'll be working on their college fund almost immediately. But I think that ultimately, Two of Swords tells me she just wants to do what's best. She will reflect over those things maybe too much. She might even not make some decisions at all because she's just torn about what the right thing is to do, and maybe it puts her in a spiral of like overthinking. But I will say sometimes not making a decision at all is worse than making a bad decision. So even though she's probably going to be surrounded by lots of different people's opinions of what she should do, what's right and what's wrong, at the end of the day, girl, you do what's best for you and your child and your family. I think there's a lot of unasked for opinions coming her way, and she's going to try and keep everybody happy, which is why she might build a few walls up of protecting her decisions and what she's doing with her family, because she doesn't want, you know, people fighting her about what the best thing to do is. She's going to continue being the breadwinner financially, and I think she will continue being able to provide enough for two. I think Moses earns enough money to provide as well, but I think also she'll be able to support Moses as well. I think this year for her will be filled with so much studying, preparing for this moment in her life is going to put her in a really powerful, prepared position. And also all of her obstacles and setbacks from the past, I feel like will work in her favor when it comes to starting a family, because she has been through enough to understand how you make it in life, how you don't, how you find happiness in life, how you don't, how you treat people, how you don't. Okay, and moving from one interesting subject to another, Nikocado Avocado is a guy who you guys also suggested I dive into. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what I think about this guy, because I'm not even sure what I think about this guy. If you don't know who he is, if you don't know what he does, just look into it. Just Google it. Honestly, YouTube it. Like, there's a lot of people talking about this guy and what he's doing online, so you don't need me to give you an explanation. That's funny as I said that. We've got the Two of Wands, which is about people all around the world networking and talking and analysing and working out this guy together collectively. I think everyone's got their own conclusions, and that's part of maybe the thrill of it for him. That's part of the success, the fact people talk. They do his promotion for him, really, don't they? So am I. I'm doing it right now. So let's look at what the near future for Nikocado Avocado entails. Oh, is he moving house? Is he banking in all of that sweet, sweet coin, which this facade has brought him. They both work. Does anyone know if he's relocating or at least doing some traveling of some kind? I always do my readings in fours, so I want one more card. Whoa, this actually looks lovely. Most people would want to see a reading like this. We've got the Chariot, the Four of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Sun. I don't know whether he's starting a family, which, God forbid, I feel like he should start on himself first. I think also maybe the part of the traveling is connected to his family, so he might be traveling with them. The housey part that I just mentioned could be the fact he's traveling to maybe work out where he wants to relocate or base himself. But the Sun with the Nine of Wands, the Chariot, he's about to have a jolly good old time somewhere and enjoy himself. On a positive note, I do see this as very active, so that might be something very good for him. I think that he will take part in things that make him happy, make him feel full rather than hollow. This feels very childish, feels very silly and positive, so I'm just wondering whether this is a step in the right direction here. Because I was expecting to see quite a lot of like negative cards here, like mental health issues and stuff, but actually I see a lot of joy. I don't know whether this is behind the scenes. You know, we see all this like dramatic crying and crazy stuff on camera, but behind the scenes, I see a man planning his future. I see someone gathering up what he's made for himself and being strategic with where he puts it, what he does, what he brings in, his plans for the future. The Knight of Pentacles is a man who's ready to make right decisions. He isn't an impulsive man. He's ready to make some very long-term decisions carefully and slowly and analytically. He's going to say, right, so I need to invest here, put this money there, I want to do this, you know, I want to be ready for, like, I'm talking like he's thinking into retirement. I think this is someone who now wants to enjoy what he's created for himself. He wants to enjoy his freedom, his financial position. I'm really interested to see where he's going. Like, is he going to continue the content while doing this behind the scenes? Perhaps. Yeah, I see him being more active though. And this stuff can even lead into health. This can even bleed into health related stuff as well, by the way. Pentacles is also health. So the Knight of Pentacles is someone who is actually thinking about their choices, their health, their lifestyle. He needs to know that there's a difference between telling people, showing people that he's struggling and he's going through a tough time, or like mentally there's a few issues there, and going inward, putting in the personal action that is necessary to self-improve. It's testing on patience. But I think that there's a lot of like, I mean, the Hermit and the Temperance has come up together as what Nikocado needs to understand. And this is therapy, this is inner work, this is some serious like shadow work type shiz. And he needs to kind of like isolate himself from everything and everyone to maybe get a true understanding of what it is that he should be focused at right now. Because maybe other people are distractions or other things are distractions. He needs to get pretty spiritual to understand his purpose, his inner calling, what's right for him on a spiritual level, trying new things that he hasn't done before, so experimenting with a lifestyle that he hasn't gone into before, putting that into his routine a little bit. This is not about being dramatic and saying, woe is me, look at my situation. This is just doing it personally, privately. You know, that's when real changes actually happen. Sounds quite like as though I'm taking this from the perspective of someone who understands that he clearly eats a lot of processed foods, but the way that this hand is holding out the Ace of Pentacles inside of a garden, it makes me think it could be like an apple or a cabbage. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that he needs that kind of lifestyle. He needs to understand his potential. He's not a lost cause. There's a good amount of growth that can come from his situation. Is there going to be improvement for Nick in the next year? Yes, through the travel, through the idea of exploring new avenues that maybe he's pushed away previously. I don't know how much you guys know or research of Nick, so like if there's anything that makes sense to that, do let me know. I don't know if he's got a child in his life, but I feel like maybe he might find a lot of inspiration from being active, acting like a child, working on his inner child as well, digging in deep to what little Nick needs, not what he needs to do for the public or how he needs to earn the money, and getting creative as well. I don't know how much we know about Nick. Is there any like hobbies that are creative and quite active that he used to take part in or likes? I think he will dive into that personally. It could be connected to the sea, the ocean, or being just out in natural environments. Whoa. Is he about to get all spiritual on us? His content is either going to feel quite preachy, like he's going to try and teach us something, or he's going to express, like, kind of demonstrate his recent, like, discoveries, or there's going to be some sort of, like, maybe it's his change in health, maybe he's going to be showing his doctor a lot, someone who is teaching him things. There's going to be some sort of, like, discovery here for him, and he's going to be implementing that into his content by showing how he can, like, demonstrate that himself, like actively confident in doing that as well. Like, just looking at the Temperance next to the Magician, the Hierophant, these just feel like it's like a mind, body, spirit kind of deal here. He's gonna start pulling tarot cards. This is his healing journey. He's gonna be meditating. He's gonna be, honestly, people are gonna love to see that. I think it's gonna be an interesting take on what we've known Nick to always do. It's going to be colourful, it's going to be fruity and gay. I think it's going to be... The Ten of Cups to me is someone who's very open about, like, their sexuality or how they emotionally express themselves. So it's going to be very out there, sure, but I'm hoping that it comes from a place of wanting to improve. He might even be I feel like there's going to be authority figures that he's going to be recording. So whether that's a therapist or a doctor, people in his life that he's trying to learn from. And he's maybe going to make that into some sort of series. There's some powerful figures here that are wanting to, like, slap him around the face, and he's gonna let them do that maybe on camera. Not literally. That might even involve his partner. Okay, well, I'm gonna end that here. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like to see me do these tarot reading videos, then do give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments who you would like to see me read. I'm on social media such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you'd like to book a private tarot reading of me, just find me on Facebook, Tarot with Ellie, or Instagram, Spiritually Speaking with Ellie. All the links are down there, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Bye!